So hello everyone, my name is Katie and I'm from Starlight, and I wanted to share this amazing lesson that I have been receiving from Mary Magdalene this weekend. And I think it's a really important lesson to share at this time, because my guides say that July is really a month to honor the feminine, whether you are a man or a woman or somebody that considers themselves a priesty, a unity being. And I feel like this might actually end up being true, certainly for the next few years of ascension. And the reason I think it's going to be true is because in July, on the 22nd, is Mary Magdalene's feast day. And it was last year that the Pope and the Catholic Church decided to recognise her as an apostle and as an equal. And that is basically symbolic of what's happening for the Divine Feminine, because Mary Magdalene's story is basically the story of the Divine Feminine during the Piscean age and during this age, during this Aquarian age. And so when we're in this month where her feast day is, it's a really amazing time to explore what the feminine means to you and explore what has been suppressed about the feminine within you, and invite whatever it is that has been suppressed about the feminine within you, and it's different for everyone, inviting that up to come up and play. And certainly almost as soon as we hit the 1st of July, my guides were right. I suddenly went all into the swirly energies of the feminine, and the way I started to do things was so different from the way I was doing things in June. Like, I was really feeling called to, rather than like write loads of emails, just to like lie there and receive information and do really kind of creative things into my work and creative ways into my work. And one of the things that I have been guided to do this month is to recreate the Call of the Magdalene course, which is a course that I created last year. And it's a mini course, Last year it was only 5 days. This year it's only 7 days. Most Starlight courses are like 5 weeks long. And this course, compared to other Starlight courses, really, there's a lot of space in it, even in the wording, in the meditations, in the emails. And I was tuning in this very feminine way that I've been kind of called into in this month of communing with femininity. And so I was tuning in to why there is so much space in this course. Like, why was that guided last year? Why is it being guided this year? And even the way I'm channeling is so feminine at the moment. So I'm just being guided to literally commune with Mary Magdalene, rather than direct voice channel, rather than dimensional channel. Literally lie with her, hold space for her and what she wants to bring through. And so that's what I was doing, to ask this question. And she gave me such a profound answer, and I think it's such an important thing to understand, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So she said that space and the understanding of space is deeply connected to the Magdalene energy. And she said, all you need to do is look at that on a physical level. Look at that on a physical level. Feminine sex is literally about about holding space, about having space. Our feminine bodies and our feminine sexual bodies literally have space. Our wombs and our yonis are about space. And what she said is that because we've been so in the masculine for the Piscean age, we've had a very, very masculine approach to space, which when you're talking about it in tantric terms, in sexual terms, it is about filling up. It's about, we've dedicated a huge amount of our lives to filling up space, whether it's filling up mental space by distracting ourselves with television and music, or filling up physical space by building as much as we can, and even invading space on kind of political levels and things like that. And so we've really been taught almost to approach space in that very, very masculine way. What happens when we come back to the feminine and the Magdalena understanding of space is very, very different. Because what the feminine, and particularly the Magdalena aspect of yourself and the collective understands, is that space is magnetic. And this was the big breakthrough moment for me. She was like, space is magnetic. It is the magnetism of creation. And actually, the divine feminine is deeply, how the divine feminine creates, is it creates space. So alchemy, which is the divine feminine form of transformation, is all about creating space, because it understands on a consciousness level that space is what is the magnetism that is required for the next cycle, for the next event in life to happen. The womb is space that is so magnetic it calls a soul into the world. It calls life into the world. And you can actually see, it's the law of osmosis. It's in science. If you think of a Hoover space, a Hoover is a space that is so magnetic it pulls everything into it, even those socks that you didn't want to have happen. And so when you look at space in that way, your whole kind of perspective on space and your whole attitude towards it changes. And then she went on to explain that really it is through our Magdalena selves that we are able, through our Magdalena energy, that we are really able to feel that magnetism that space has. Because we feel it when we are sexually attracted to someone. We feel it when we're essentially horny. That is the magnetic vibrational energy that we hold inside of ourselves. And it has the energy to pull in a sexual partner, and in the other way to pull life in to your womb. And so she explained to me that when you are immersing yourself in the Magdalene, you really, really have to honor space. You really, where you kind of find the energetic pureness and magnetism of her wisdom is through giving yourself space, is through giving yourself mental space, physical space, through clearing out space in your consciousness, through getting rid of the old stories and beliefs in your consciousness. And because the Magdalena has been one of the aspects of the feminine that has been suppressed, not just in a sexual way, but also in an empowered way, in an equality way, in an alchemist way, you know, even in a Christ consciousness way, Mary Magdalene is the feminine of Christ consciousness. And so because all of that has been basically suppressed within us collectively, that way of receiving through space, that way of manifesting through space, that way of creating through space has not happened, and we've become full of all of these belief systems and stories, and you know, we've filled up our consciousness, this amazing magnetic tantric creational cooling space that is our vibration, and our consciousness has been filled up and it's become our subconscious, and this is because it's become full, because that balance of filling space and then creating space hasn't been there within us. You know, we're now having to kind of purge it out, and this is why the world is having to do so much purging at the moment, because our kind of historical consciousness as well as our personal consciousness needs to purge, and actually, you know, the Magdalena herself really will show us what we have suppressed, which is essentially the things that we have filled our space up with, the things that we have pushed into our own consciousness space through not being able to process or not being able to deal with or recycle or fully engage with for whatever reasons. And so in going into that and purging that, we're also basically creating more space and more magnetism. And then she went on to explain to me and remind me of the root word of love, which I'd already looked up and I already knew about. But the root word of love is desire. And when I first read that, it shocked me so much, because, I don't know, I had judgments about love and I thought it was going to be like God or light or something that seemed more important than desire. And, you know, that again is the suppression of our Magdalena consciousness, because really when you understand that the root word of love is desire, then you can understand that everything you love begins with that longing, that magnetism, that almost sexual, tantric Magdalena energy that happens when there is space. So everything that your path is, everything that your destiny is, has to have that moment of longing and of magnetizing in space, that moment of desire being in space. And that's why for so many people, when they're trying to find their path, they have to leave their job first, because they need the space to actually be able to pull such a massive thing in, to pull such a massive love into their lives, or they seriously have to cut down their job, you know, if they're in a position where they can. That's why sometimes we have to experience losing lots of people when we're waking up and about to find our tribe, because that space has to be created first. She also explained to me why women, when they're on their periods and when they're in their deep feminine, go cleaning crazy because that is the feminine way. It's trying to create space. It's you instinctually understanding that while you're cleansing, while you're in your deep feminine, you've got to create space, because that is what the feminine is all about. That is how the feminine is creating. And so while your body is releasing and yet beginning, you're creating space. You know, you're doing what your body's doing, essentially. And you're doing it in the feminine way, which is to release the old and create space. And I just think it is a wonderful lesson and a wonderful perspective to adopt this month. How can I create more space? because when you create more space, essentially you create more space for what you love, for you creating that desire space to magnetize in what you love, which is your path, which is your dreams, which is your manifestations, which is more of you. And so it's a wonderful question to ask. It's a wonderful perspective to connect into, especially this month, whether you are male or female. If you are feeling really called to bring your path in, then the Call of the Magdalene course, whilst it has that tantric aspect to it, it's not focusing on the tantric energy of Mary Magdalene. It is focused on unveiling more of your path. It's focused on clearing out the specific consciousness that is in the way of your path, and this specific collective feminine suppressed consciousness that is in the way of your path, and clearing and unveiling more of your path over the year. Such a powerful journey. Like it opened up so much of my path last year, and I'm so excited to see what it's going to bring this year. And you're literally held in the energy of Mary Magdalene for it. And I feel like her energy, whether you are called to the course or not, and I'm sorry, it's only for women and people that identify as women because of the wounds that sometimes come up with the Magdalene. But whether you're male or female, you can connect in to this Magdalena energy this month and connect into that space magnetism and really start using it to learn about space and learn about what space you need to create. And so I want to show you the simplest way to do this now, because like I said, it already working in this way is transforming the way that I'm working, the way that I'm channeling, the way that I'm creating, the way that I'm receiving. It is transforming me and bringing me more into balance with my feminine and my masculine. And I just think it's really important. So if you're listening, close your eyes and feel the muscles around your eyes relaxing. And breathe in love and breathe out gratitude, and open your heart to Mary Magdalene. Understand that when you are opening your heart, you're opening your love space, your heart space. And you're opening up your space. And as you open your heart to her, feel a column of rose golden energy from her heart shining down into you, through you, all around you now. And allow this energy to take you into a deeper sense of self, a deeper sense of peace. And feel your heart and her heart connecting. Feel the union that you have heart to heart with Mary Magdalene. And if you like, you can, if you're a woman, you can also connect womb to womb with her, womb space to womb space. And ask her now, what can I release now to create more space in my life? Let whatever answer is meant to come to you come. So allow whatever answer is meant to come to you come. And allow it to come as a word, as a feeling, as a picture. Maybe it's an item you need to throw away. Maybe it's just an energy that moves through you. Maybe it's to do with time. Maybe it's a belief, but just let that. And ask her to release it for you now. So release it from your consciousness. Noticing where it is leaving your body. Noticing where it is leaving your energy field, where it is leaving your emotions. And now honoring that space that has been created. And honoring the space that you have, if you're a woman, all of that sexual space you have, but also the space that you have with your cells, the space you have in your mouth, the space you have in your ears, really connecting to all of the space you have, the space you have in your eyes and your nose, noticing how actually all of your senses, whether it is the cells of your touch in your skin to your mouth, to your ears, to your eyes, they're all entrance halls, they're all space. So your perceptional, creational life begins with space, because everything begins with space. So allowing yourself to relax into the space, and space being natural, to enjoy the space that is being created within you. Good. You're doing really well. And now asking to experience the magnetism of space. Really feeling that magnetic energy that you feel when there's two people that fancy each other, and you're one of the people that fancy someone else, and there's that kind of electric energy that fills the space. And allowing that electric magnetic energy to move through you now, to move through all of your sensory spaces, and to move into the space that's been created from that release. And again, if you're a woman, allowing it to be in your womb and in your yoni. And from that magnetism, choose what you pull in. Choose what you are going to call in from that space. Maybe it's inspiration. Maybe it's more self-love. Maybe it's abundance, more of your path. Whatever is right for you in this moment. Mary Magdalene is saying this is a Magdalena manifesting technique. And again this month, because of her feast day, and because of how integral her story is to our story, and how her shifting story is representing us shifting, so a really powerful time to manifest in this way, to use this technique to manifest. And again, pull it in a sensory way, so pull it in, wherever it is that you're intending, pull it in through the sounds and the tastes and the smells and the visions and the textures and the feelings. Noticing how actually it's easy to be magnetic, and it's easier to manifest from this feminine way of space. And that you simply be. And together, let's pull some peace on earth. In fact, there is peace on earth, so let's pull in peace on earth for all people on earth all the time. Because peace on earth already exists. And we've got to start manifesting more. More than what already exists. We want to manifest peace on earth all the time amongst all people. So, bringing that in. And essentially all you're doing at the moment is calling it. You don't have to fill out that space just yet, you can just call it. You can just honour the magnetism, the vibrational desire, root of love magnetism that is calling it in. And once again, connecting into the rose golden energy of Mary Magdalene and asking her for your personal manifestation that you were connecting with. What else do you need to clear? What other space do you need to create? What else do you need to know? And letting the answer come to you in words, in pictures, in feelings. Letting us speak the answer into your heart or your womb. And allowing her energy to leave now. As you send your love and gratitude to her. And you feel a golden rain shower of light pouring down through you. Clearing away anything that's not of service. Washing away all of that old energy. Taking it into the earth, which will love to take it away so that more space can be created. And which will, of course, alchemize it. And again, honouring the space that happens as you return to your vibration, to your uniqueness, to you with you. So there it is, a lesson in manifesting in space, in Magdalena perspective on space. Like I said, the course is going to be running, it's only run during the week of Magdalena's feast day. So it's not a course you can do any other time of the year. You need to be held in her energy. You need to be held in the live energy of the course. An online course, you can do it anywhere in the world. It's very, very spacious, very, very easy, but deeply powerful and transformational. And it's gorgeous to be held in Mary Magdalene's energy for that alchemical journey into the unveiling of more of your path. So the early bird for that is going to run out tomorrow. So if you are called and feel like you want to do it, the time is now. And if you don't know, then give yourself the space to know. It's really important that you do it if it feels right for you. And if you have any questions, just drop me a message, let me know, or type it under this video. And like I said, I really am feeling the importance of understanding space in this feminine way. I think it's really going to change the whole approach to how we do things and how we manifest and how we live our lives. And it's a really good time to be exploring that while we're surrounded by these amazing feminine energies. So good luck. Thank you so much. Mwah. Loads of love, loads of hugs, loads of blessings, loads of space.